All right. So, good news, and I'll let the other part be good news or bad news depending on what you think of it. The good news is I've got more time to play Disco Elysium today. Yay. The bad news, if you take a look at that load game section on our menu here, um, I can't select it. We had a very minor power outage the other day that knocked the PS5 out for a bit. And it looks like there was no autosave of the game I had started. So we are starting from scratch. I'm curious if I'll make any more decisions. Basically, I think up front I'm going to decide more concretely what type of character I'm going to play as, and then act on that. And the fact that I've got this opportunity early on, yes, the Fever Dream game, which I have to start from the beginning, as I like there was a power outage, I lost my save, so we're starting over. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play the game completely differently just to see what some of the responses are early on that would be different. Responses might not be the right word, but I'm going to play a character that probably won't run away from a bartender, jump in the air, flip him the double bird, and then run into the wheelchair lady. Yeah, yeah. I was playing the RPG like I play these games too often, where I just select every single possible talking point, and I need to not do that. I feel like this is a game that really discourages that. Like, pick who you want to be and play like that. I feel like it really wants you to RPG this thing. Which I eventually decided to do, but by then I had already made a bunch of dumb choices. Dumb for the character. So, I'm still going to select an archetype. I'm just not going to select the physical archetype this time. I am going to go with... Let's see. I'm going to go with the Thinker. Very, very smart. By the book. Yeah, I know, right? I want to look into things, but I also don't because I want to be surprised. We're going to go with the Thinker. Very, very smart, by the book, and just completely emotionally stunted and is terrible at reading emotions. Let's do that and see what happens. Yeah, the names of these things are insane.
There is nothing.
Exhibit A.
Primordial blackness. Your conscious.
I'm gonna go through this whole thing again, still listening to the voice acting.
Grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore.
I wonder if I'll understand it better, maybe.
Ever. Never, ever. And an audience amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. Yes, it is. You got it, sweet brother. Nothing upon nothing upon nothing. I know you do, baby. I know. Coming right up, sir. Smooth passage. All right. Nothing town to fuck all borough.
Yeah, it is very European in just like everything. Let's do this one.
Elder one. It has always been like this, and it always will. The song of death is sweet and endless. But what is this? Somewhere in the soul bloated man meat around you. A sensation.
So I imagine my character is gonna. I'm gonna decide now. My character is gonna be far more introspective and just enjoying nothingness and not having to be around people is something he
Like a fly
loves.
your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting, longing, dancing to disco music.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
Somehow, you know what it is. A Caprice Canadian motor carriage.
Oh, interesting. Because I have the encyclopedia, I know exactly what the sound is. That's a car. Alright, well now that I know how to control better, this opening section where I get my clothes on will be much quicker. Although I feel like I was always missing a shoe. Yeah, he was missing a lot. Alright. Shoe number 1. Yeah, he really was. I was definitely going, like... Oh, like... Kuno. I don't even remember Kuno. I'll figure it out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've only got one shoe on right now. Yeah, this game's insane. Right. The tape was torn out while the song was playing. Oh, my tie is up here.
This fan has 2 chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap! It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie, with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose. The blades come squeaking to a halt.
I'm not going to pull on the light bulb switch this time because it just makes your headache worse. I am, however, going to look... Yeah, so you can invest more points up here based off... I imagine you could invest points based off of, in specific skills based off of your score for that particular characteristic, rather. Scrunch just woke up. Hang on one second. Let me get her a little more settled. Oh, scrunchy. All right. Produce fascinating trivia. Perfect. Rigorous intellectual discourse. Lie and detect lies. I like it. Understand creativity. Reconstruct crime scenes. Alright, yeah, I'm definitely digging some of those. Alright, jacket. Sorry, Blink 182. I will be putting on my pants and jacket. Thank you. They should have said to poet. Excellent. White satin shirt.
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Was this not the same Elo that founds empires and lays waste to cities, virile, uncaring towards the little things? Probably not, no. Hot water sprays from the faucet's base, and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just a vague impression of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Too late. You clearly have rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. Oh my God. You can't stop. It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? You are correct.
You're correct. Dig deep into your mind to locate the source of the expression. Attempt to stop. Yeah, we're gonna do the encyclopedia.
Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now.
Encyclopedia failed me on my first try using it. Oh, there are my pants. Still missing a shoe. I did look around for it last time with no luck.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact.
Okay.
It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist.
A bottle, perhaps?
The single green shoe you found fits the hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough.
Oh! I know where my shoe is!
Congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you could still find the other one on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room. The cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold.
Excellent. I've already appreciated the second playthrough. Just in that, I was able to find the second shoe.
You hear a jingle.
Ooh.
Keys are clinking in the pocket of your feet.
I just caught a whiff of something from the baby.
It says whirling in rags on the aluminium key ring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is... The whirling in rags is a hostel cafeteria on the urban coast, frequented by dock workers.
Okay, I'm already loving the fact that I picked the thinker because I'm immediately getting like more information from things just by having the encyclopedia skill. Like, I feel like we're gonna get like all of the lore and then some that we didn't last time. Ah, find my other shoes a task. Okay. All right. I will be back shortly. I'm going to clean up whatever whiff I got from this kid. All right, let's go find my shoe. Smell of the sea. Okay. Okay.
There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet, like two baby crocodiles. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Interesting. By completing some tasks, you heal morale. I guess depending on the task. That's just the shoe, right? Yeah. There. Oh, money. Go to sleep, child. Talking to the actual child, just for the record.
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28. A silver jumpsuit falls off her like scale armor, sparkling. This is the sparkle of too many nights out on the city.
No. Because you're a police officer, sir. I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time. You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less. Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
You have no doubt about the drinking. But do you strike yourself as a tight-lipped drunk? She must have heard something.
Try the expression, yeah.
She nods.
There's a mercenary out back. He's been hanged. The body has been there for a week now. The locals probably got tired of it and called the cops. I didn't mean to overwhelm you with information. You seem a bit lost, officer. Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer. Could it be because of the drinking?
She hasn't had time to put her makeup on. This is her morning cigarette. She looks tired, her beauty waning faster than it ought to at her age.
No.
Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
Something stirs in you as she's about to go. Call it an instinct, a need. The need to ask questions. It's like you said the words a million times before. She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
Yes? There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I couldn't say. It's impossible to hear people speaking from over here. Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestration prime among them.
Oh, that. Yeah. Whoa. The less said about oh, the better.
Oh. Ostentatious orchestrations, man. Just wall-to-wall bangers from them.
Oh were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course. Like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on. It would appear so. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace. A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of the time, you were yelling along to it. That it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now, it was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a winded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. Don't be. I was going out later anyway. It didn't bother me. Then you started screaming and trashed the place. No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. A window was smashed. A tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable.
This type of animal.
I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then, around 4 or 5. And that was it. You're in a hostel, sir. We are in Revachol.
Revachol is the disgraced former capital of the world, divided into zones of control under foreign occupation. Half a century after a failed world revolution, she is central to our moment in time.
Forever and ever.
And ever and ever, out of the corner of your eye, you see the hair on the back of your hand standing on end. It feels as though low-grade lightning is coursing through you. You must be hypersensitive from the hangover.
It's 51. The current century? Centuries don't have numbers. They have names. And this is the current one. Civilization has existed for 8,000 years, sir. You're right. There is nothing funny about civilization. Glad to have been of assistance.
Well, that was a lot more measured than last time, I would say. Does it say I'm able to try that again?
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it,
Oh, I am
your
able to
face
try it again.
adorned with the expression.
Oh, +1 for hearing about the band OO. Uh-oh.
Like the rest of you,
Seriously?
it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past.
72% and I failed twice? Come
For
on.
now.
Garbage. What's this door? It doesn't even let me look at that door. I'm doing this all one hand right now because the kiddo was like squirmy, and so I picked her up. Oh God! She was chill, and then I tried to stick a pasty in her mouth, and she started flailing. Goodness, kid. Not the karaoke type this time around.
A man in his late 20s stands behind the
The
counter,
barman, cafeteria
inspecting
manager,
a
sorry.
stuffed seabird. As you approach,
Oh, right,
he
the
gives you a
bird.
sideways glance, then looks down again. Everything is cool between you.
Oh,
and this guy.
Kuno the
He's a
punk
big
out
fella.
back.
Make some small talk. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. This is the Great Skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery of the Insulindian Isola, the part of the world you are in right now. The small steel tag says as much. The Great Skua. Stegoarius Skua.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager.
I don't really want to go through this again, but I want to do it just for the sake of having the
Very
information.
all of a sudden, this seems like a touchy subject.
The final cut, or I mean, I imagine the only thing they sell now is the final cut.
I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm only standing in.
I have no intention of trying to platinum this game. Looking at the trophies, it seems very much like the type of game that, like, it hands out trophies based off of specific things that happen. And so to get the platinum would be to force certain story paths, which just feels wrong in this game.
She just, you know.
His eyes dart from left to right. This man isn't lying, but he is hiding something.
She just what, dude?
So now you recall. Oh, forget it.
Yeah, I have to imagine this game is deep up your alley. Interesting, okay. Oh, someone's in the kitchen. Oh, that would be fun. Oh, it's the lady in the wheelchair.
Hello, sweetie.
Right, the cryptozoologist's wife. Forgot about that.
You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
Oh, it's a... Oh, now you autosave, game.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. You.
Yeah, looking into it online, by the way, about that save game, it appears the autosave rarely happens, and because it causes the game to go very, very jittery, I guess? I don't know. Anyways, I'm probably gonna... Well, can I save? Yeah, I can save
As
anytime.
you approach,
So
he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. On the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic white rectangles as on your blazer.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
So, going into this, knowing what I know, we're going to try and cover up my incompetence a little bit better this time around.
You realize he's waiting for your name. Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon, but mixed with the stench of liquor rising from your breath. You're 2 steps closer to it, but there are still many to go.
Okay then. It looks like we had a little skidding
Off to a rough start on covering myself up better.
Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Okay, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? So, the body is still in the tree, where it has been hanging for 7 days straight.
Whoops.
We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. After you, officer.
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
Oh, right.
You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I advise you to try to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence.
Okay, maybe I'm not going to cover up all my incompetence. Just when it seems reasonable. Because, like, missing badge, missing gun, yeah, we just need to find those.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by...
Locate halogen watermarks. Officer profile incomplete. Interesting. Still trying to one-hand this until the baby falls asleep here.
The man
And
with
she's
the
still wide
unimpressive
awake.
beard notices you approaching. He drops the ledger he was holding and turns to the lieutenant.
Mr. Gart, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41... Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Right.
This sounds like something you can use to call this Sylvie later.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many, many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that. Detective.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound doubt in your having this. Ask him about the body's location before asking if he killed him. People give up information in the more innocuous questions, which you can later use in the more sinister ones, not vice versa.
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then, to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to fit through.
This man means the heavy cavalry of the innocents Franco-Negro, sweeping over the plains and nations of the enemies of mankind.
Okay.
Century style, unified currency and the concept of cool came in their wake. They wore lamella and carried guns. But first and foremost, Franco-Nigerian heavy cavalry was really, really wide. That hole in the fence must be enormous.
Haven't you asked me that already? What is it with you and this woman? She has nothing to do with this.
I mean, the most important lore, obviously.
Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body out back. And because I asked for her number. That's why Sylvie went away. I hope you appreciate that.
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, what is so goddamn fascinating about that for you? It's got nothing to do with the lynching.
I'm a feminist? Oh my gosh, I could go that route in this game? Good to know. I feel like playing the game the first time is going to give me ideas for how I could potentially play it in the future. Because, like, you don't really know what options you've got until you start playing it. So if there's a way to just be a hardcore feminist in the game, that's interesting.
Good for you. Was there something else? I'd like to get back to what I was doing. I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job.
This is it. He said they hoisted him up on a tree. Who is this they, if he doesn't know?
Oh, people are saying it was the union dock workers, that it was a lynching. The locals, the customers, the people who eat here, a lot of dock
Right?
workers eat here.
I did the same
Sylvie
detective work
told me
last time, so
everyone
that's,
knows the dock workers did it.
helpful, but... Or are you talking about figuring out why Sylvie left? Because that didn't happen last time. The trait I picked so I did the thinker prefab character. Oh yeah, so I did on the last one too. Anyways, the thinker prefab character with encyclopedia is the one trait there.
Did the debarders themselves tell her this, or is it a rumor?
Everyone knows the awkward. Okay.
I don't really know. You'll have to ask her. I would suppose it's because they have nothing better to do.
You mean the strike?
Sorry, get some gunk out of Fernie's eyes here. Goodness, kid.
Yes, the strike. The man they hanged was a security guard for the harbour company, I hear. A mercenary. The unionistas probably thought they'd send a message.
The lieutenant turns the page in the little notebook he's been scribbling in.
Let's go.
Plus 30 experience. Nice.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real. Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right, money. You owe this establishment 130 real. Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated.
Okay.
The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. So don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages.
That's 100.
Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals 130 real. And yes, real is still money.
Yeah, that is tough. I tell you what, Elden Ring is on sale for physical copies like everywhere, but it's not on sale in the PlayStation Store, and it makes me so mad. All right, I guess we'll do this because I definitely don't want to put him under arrest.
What are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room, or 8 bottles of potent blend, and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really.
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his orange bomber.
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't. If he doesn't have the money by tonight, then...
Officer, maybe you are better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
Definitely don't pick that one or this one. He seems to know I have a home. Let's go with
You mean
this.
somewhere else to run up a huge debt? I don't think so. The union squeezed most places out of business to fund the strike. You're better off home.
I'm sorry I couldn't help more. You should take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car, okay? We have to get this investigation started now.
Good luck.
Oh my goodness, kiddo. One second, let me try and get her calmed down again. Because she was calm. And then I tried to move her. That was my first mistake. Okay, okay. Hey, stop fighting with me. Where did your pacifier go? It was just here. Okay, I feel it in the blanket. Hang on. There. Okay, at least now I can use both hands instead of trying to do the one-hand thing. Alright, who made the call and pay for damages? Ask my station for additional funds. I remember how well that went last time. Am I able to level anything up? No. Not at all.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. You don't really know, do you? A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
There's the hobo cop thought.
You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
Lonesome long way home is the thought I got this time. Okay. Research time 6 hours 5 minutes. Let's rewind. Let's trace your drunken steps back home. Jump across the raised channel bridge southwest of here. Fall over. Get up. Get off the asphalt in 20 minutes. Okay. Oh, I like how it shows like all of the thoughts here. Alright, we're going to internalize Lonesome Long Way Home. I get a +1 to Encyclopedia.
Yes?
No response. He just arches his brow.
Try and be honest with Kim here.
He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs? Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation.
Okay. Feels like Kim is trustworthy enough
No,
to... Oop.
It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personal affairs. Even you know this.
Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
What do you want to know? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
Oh, lovely. I didn't know this bit.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. That's good. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit.
Okay.
Then you are not that far behind, actually. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in
Security
Martinez.
guard.
An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
My current setup with the kid is tenuous. Oh, now you want to yawn. Alright.
A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. Good.
Okay.
Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic. It's a part of the world, officer. a geopolitical entity, and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
Seol is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
You're barking at the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seol. I'm a regular Rebachelier.
A point of pride to him.
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
I guess you don't need glasses, then. No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant's eyebrow.
The eyebrow keeps me from asking him more about his secrets.
Like you're locked down. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
Okay.
What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
I can't say that it does. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Wild pines.
A colorful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. Makes your fingers itch. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. John.
Yeah, let's try and steal the ID.
Your fingers find their way into the shackle, flicking open its spring-loaded gate. The metal loop holds the plastic ID and a leather-bound pocketbook. The man emits a loud snore. Is he about to wake up? Doesn't look like it, but you never know. Better be quick.
Let's see.
You slip the plastic ID card out of the loop and pocket it. The man continues to snore. Just for the record, you look nothing like the man on the document. You find a black paper note with a woman's profile on it. Seems like this woman lived centuries ago. The note says, 5 real. It feels nice and greasy. Yum yum. Money. Think of all the things you can buy with this. The synapses in your brain fire with glee. No, he's looking the other way. perhaps purposefully. The
Good man.
sleeping dock worker has little to say about your actions. He remains silent.
Alright, I guess let's try and wake him up now.
You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This man could probably sleep soundly in a ship's engine room. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
We're gonna need that to survive the encounter with Kuno. Okay, kiddo. Alright, I'm gonna try. I'm getting her over my shoulder here, which means, unfortunately, she'll be close to the mic. So if she continues to grunt, we'll all hear her. Oh my word, what is going on with you? Probably just want attention. But for somebody who wants attention, you're not really looking at me. Hey. Child. Over here, punk. Oh, now she looks at me. You just like when I call you punk. Alright. Let's go take a look at the body. Ooh.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite.
What?
That's why they're too orderly. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
Okay.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
Okay, child. You shouldn't be hungry. I fed you plenty. Oh my goodness. I put her down and she did not like that. Alright. What's in the tool shed? A big chair? Cured pig's head.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine.
Oh boy.
Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. There's a good, vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use.
Where are you going right now? Grand Couron 37? Huh. What's that noise? Storing rainwater. I'm all sorts of distracted now. Nosafed. Look at all the money I'm finding. I'm gonna try. Wasn't expecting there to be so many layers to like vertical discovery. Oh my goodness, kitten. Oh boy, she's getting to be that age now where she can like actively keep me from being able to do things. She didn't sleep very long. I figured she'd go back to sleep at some point, and it has not happened. What's this? It's a postcard? Okay. I think... Okay, I see. The spot was up there.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. When the wind ruffles the cloak, you can most definitely see a white rectangle on its back.
Oh my gosh, is it mine?
Yes, it's probably yours.
Yeah.
It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
Go for the cloak, jump over the ledge, yeah.
The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it? Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meter stops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
A badge and a gun, perhaps. Oh my gosh, I did it? On a 17% chance?
The chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses.
Seriously.
Ankles tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ears. You are ready for your rendezvous with the concrete pavement below. As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive. Alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline.
I knew you could do it. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor rushes back in.
RCM patrol cloak. Doesn't say anything though. But it does give me a boost to shivers. And the esprit de corps boost still hangs out. Yeah, alright, well worth it. Although, like, I still haven't looked at the... Oh, wild pines. I still haven't looked at the body at all. Up here first.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, Rene Arnaud. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man is young, dark-skinned, and dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform. The girl is smiling playfully at the camera.
Why did you take that? Fine, but let's move. I don't want to be seen snooping around here.
The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons. The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers. They are slightly out of date.
Nah.
You stand and exit the booth.
Okay, I can't go down this staircase. Looks like maybe it's collapsed. Well, let's go check out the door. Another postcard, okay.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Couron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. Look how blurry all the lines on these papers are. How unwieldy your own willpower is to yourself. Your hermeneutics was almost within your grasp, but now only vague letters float before your eyes. Less meaningful, but aesthetically more pleasing. You are a police officer, not a spiritual healer. You can focus the normal way by turning your attention to something and not letting go.
Is that what you're doing with those folders over there? My thought exactly, officer. Shall we?
Oh,
Whatever's hidden
nice.
here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer. It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list. The drawer slide. An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change."
Guess I have no choice but to talk to the union leader. Okay. Oh, there's a lot more to discover over here. How do I get back to look at the body, though? Great machines are sleeping. It's because of the strike. Oh, there's somebody here. Oh, hang on, hang on.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard. Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister? I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you? I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done. Yes, yes.
I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags. Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad. Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder. The old man whistles and hums a jaunty tune to himself.
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up. Oh yes, born and raised in Arish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Nasty
Thank you
rumors.
for clarifying that, sir.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in.
Yeah.
We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on...
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Evrard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Evrard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so. Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
Okay.
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Suspects, primary suspects
Easy.
right there?
Let's keep this on the hearties.
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow. Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and the words are spewing forth. Words, words, and look, even more words. This guy could go on till the end of days. Now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who... No, he already switched to a prized fishing rod he apparently owned at some point. You know what? Just cut in there with your questions.
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town. And Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am. Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre
Well, I got
says so,
sad.
and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has.
So Everard trained a lawyer named Miss Beaufort.
It is
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, very sad. Out of very left field.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are alright. Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school, we did, when we were boys. Oh, Mr. Everard is where he always is. In his office, of course. Bye-bye now.
I guess we'll talk to Mr. Everard. Ooh. Guess I can't open that. So I guess this is Mr. Everard's office. A taxidermy fish that tells time.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you, with a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's
Mr.
good of you to
Dubois.
stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist. Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
His multiple chins move like ocean waves.
I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
You're no Titan affiliation, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair
Wow.
in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
A novelty check?
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Or... Cool? I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager. But, sure, if that's what's cool nowadays. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
This particular character didn't even realize he had lost his gun yet.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. Oh God, why didn't you think of this before? Cops have guns. Where's yours?
Oh, this is not going well right now.
It's gone. Your gun is gone. There's nothing in your pockets.
1 second, getting a call. Especially since we don't have a big crowd coming in. Kim, Ben, I want to say Alicia, Matea probably then, maybe Nick. I would say no later than 6:30. But anyways, do you want to get more food? Alright. I'll see when you get home. Up to you, bye.
Are you alright, Harry?
Alright.
You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be alright.
Harry?
It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be alright.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Composure. -1 for taking the novelty check. +1 because I didn't say thanks for it. -1 because I was surprised by the gun. And -2 because of the chair. Awesome.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Officer.
I wouldn't be so
Oh,
sure about
I
that.
have to try and keep my composure.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun, and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Dubois, he keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Yeah, I lost a crap ton of morale and didn't even get to the reason I'm here.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
I can get a new skill right now while talking to him. Let's do that.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
I didn't ask whose door? Oh my goodness. And now he's not going to tell me information about the killing until I do that. Ugh.
Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age... Rubbish, Harry. Rubbish. I mean, look at you. For your age, you are obviously in peak physical condition. A real silverback. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning... Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Harry, Harry. I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands. Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everett, I call you Harry. My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done. It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
But of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay.
He doesn't really seem to know any more about it.
It's Harry. Harry Dubois. And I can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you? Family? Harry, you're not a family man.
That makes sense.
There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats.
Everett's large hands
You are kidding
covering the
me.
folder, but the look on his face says, I know everything about you, Harry.
I'm sure it's not that bad. At worst, he has no RCM folder.
He really
I'm very
is.
touched out, even that.
Harry, I just know the things that matter to our friendship, and I want you to feel free to ask me about those things. Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. Yes, you seem to be, a lot of the time, but right now there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. Be you.
He's probably just making a guess based on your recent activity in Martinez.
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry. Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. You wanted something from me. Let's hear it, Harry.
Oh, it's just another option to go back to this.
Of course,
Okay.
Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Oh, good.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
Excellent time for an autosave, thankfully. Alright, do I leave via the office? I'm thinking so. Excellent. Yep, that's where the key goes.
Yes?
I was wondering if maybe some more things had unlocked. Alright, I need to find Manana.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Oh boy. I feel like I've made a mistake.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me. That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making
I was thinking the same thing. Raish or Talia?
Sick. No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the Sandwich race is waning. Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
You could internalize Measurehead's race theory. It would enrich you rhetorically. The best idea. Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on? Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidental.
Measurehead is something else, man.
Including the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the
poor
point
Maun.
where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant, a common result of inbreeding. A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet,
What?
little green tassels on their hats. You know them by the names of their nation states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königsteiners. My people simply call them Maun.
Maun is a derogative term for first world people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have X.
Okay.
Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and the Uhu, are much more lactose intolerant. In some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green, orange, and even yellow tassels have also been seen on hats.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial
Shout out to
purity
the Encyclopedia
and
talent
tassels
for
in culture.
quickly proving him
Inbreeding
wrong.
has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take seriously.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clogs too.
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have Type A race propensities. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem. Overproduction of sebum.
Oh,
Sebum
lovely.
is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more sebum.
So people with acne are listening to mariachi music and eating minced meat. Cool.
As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental Type A
I don't know. I just saw him. I assumed he was Manana.
The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic.
I just got kind of sucked in by the weirdness of it.
Progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls. The latter is perfected and adapting.
He's
Together
insane.
They form the Simeno
I like.
or Simeopagite super race. That is all. There are no more Type A races in the world.
It's like, what if like a far right person was a self-proclaimed like ultra thinker? Maybe like it's truly insane.
You need to know both types A and B
Oh my
to
gosh.
understand the context for the reckless genetic abandonment in the Philo Cauldron.
Yeah, you have to have context, you know.
Thanks. Checks notes. Measure heads, babe.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Koikos and the Vacholier, they are mud-colored people.
The Koikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white, officer, in a suspect description.
Excellent.
To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham's on wheels. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct muddy color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, sweaty, and ashen. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of
Wow.
ballistic warfare and cultural domination.
Yeah, like, at this point I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get away from this without getting punched.
And for eating potato. The Koiko,
Oh my gosh.
the micronationalities of Grad are all
I decided to, like,
obsessed with potage.
I had the opportunity to be like, let me hear him out a little bit just to get him on my side, and then maybe I can get more information, and instead it just became a black hole.
Political amoeba.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
They are microscopic.
I really don't care at this point.
Superstate. Its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Simonese.
Epitome, excellent.
Stock. Elected Revacholians halfway between Type A and the Racial Cauldron. Two makes to know right from wrong. You try.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening. But that seems a little off.
Just...
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad. In Zaraz.
It is excellent, yes.
It is literally an illness. A prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal. The revolution is fatal.
Like, part of me wants to just blaze through this, and the other part of me is like, someone poured a lot of lines into this behind the scenes.
Enough of Tibet.
Someone looked at their script and then looked up it and said, "You sure?"
Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments.
Chimeric experiments.
It would be cruel to entertain ourselves with their... You understand nothing.
Excellent.
To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery. Lost, though. Buckled away. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss.
Alright, I managed to leave. Huh. I can't get past him, so... Whatever, he's not Manana. I need to go talk to Manana.
Scab?
Oh, thank goodness.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife? A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it, I get it. I like to keep my distance too. But it doesn't matter. It's a good thing you're doing. Thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the wailing and rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you, cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everhart.
We're negotiating our share. Aye. This stuff, they already covered.
Huh.
It's not enough. Not enough to get ahead. More about keeping us in our place. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people, or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own.
You hope.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Sure thing.
This was great. You feel mentally reinvigorated.
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course. Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He's not lying about not doing it himself.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search.
Okay, alright. Done here. I would like to leave, please. Is there another way through the office here? How do I get out? I made that jump, but I've not been able to get back to the whirling in rags, like, at all. So that's what's his face. And then every time I try and come down these steps, I get stopped. So let me just let it do this. Yeah, don't know why I was having so much trouble. GRIH, don't know what that is. The Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor. Whose car is this? Alright, well, looks like there's a lot down there, but I definitely don't want to go down that way.
One of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie, but a goldie. Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too, it appears.
Estash Raiko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time.
No, only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue, the colors of Sigismund the Great, an ancient Zhimsk ruler. His banners were famously zephyr and white, the colors of the stars Raiko.
An old case for my precinct. A couple of Zhimsk migrants saw a Staj Raiko stopped in the street, painted just like this, muddy brown. Murdered the driver on the spot. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The Zhimsk community protested the trial, flying the banners of some old king or whatever. 5,000 came to protest.
Correction. 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
Fourth.
I try to avoid drawing far-gone conclusions like this before actually examining the body, but my initial guess is the two are unrelated. Four years for murder in Reunion. The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system.
Wow.
The prisons in the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive.
I'm actually going to be wrapping up here soon because the birds are going to start playing. So, thank you. Enjoy the game. Have a good one, buddy. Good hanging out with you. Go birds. Alright, we're going to go up here. Yeah. Alright, we're back at the Whirling in Rags. Alright, we're going to stop there like I was just talking about. What a weird game, but I mean, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Looking forward to playing more of it in the near future. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Have a good rest of your evening.